way they performed before this World Cup, huge expectations. In fact, the chairman of selectors of the Afghanistani cricket team, they even claimed in Delhi just before the World Cup that this team had the potential of reaching the semi-finals, but this team so far has disappointed, and they have failed to win a single match, and luck has not been on their side, so they haven't even registered a point. Maybe because of rain. So you can clearly see that this team, Afghanistani team, is struggling. On the other hand, if you compare it with the Indian team, it's like David versus Goliath contest. India versus Afghanistan is a no match because Indian team has been on the winning streak. They have won all the matches except the one against New Zealand, which was washed out. So far, Indian team, despite the injury concern, they are the most formidable team in this World Cup. If you go by their form, the way the players have performed, this team has no match. Forget Afghanistan, even England and the likes of Australia and South Africa have discovered that this is a very tough ask to stop a team like Virat Kohli's team. Now we will. If you look at the venue here, India has already played one game at this venue, Southampton, and India won their last match in this venue against South Africa. That was a good match where we saw that kind of help Kagiso Rabada, the South African pacer, got, and you could see that there was a bit of contest there. But unfortunately, Afghanistan doesn't have a bowler in the same mood like Kagiso Rabada. This venue again favors the chasing team. But however, I don't think India will mind either batting first or bowling first because Afghanistan is a no match for this team. 286 is the average first innings total on this ground. Road so far, if you look at for India, obviously it's very easy for India. So far, they won the first match against South Africa by 6 wickets. The next match against Australia, it was 36 run cakewalk. Then against the match against New Zealand, it was supposed to be a high voltage contest which didn't happen because the rain washed out the game. But again, the high-profile game where India had a superior record against Pakistan prior to this match, they had won 6 match, and then again they defeated Pakistan by 89 runs. So you can see that the form of the Indian team, they have been in a superlative form, and it will be highly unlikely that a team like Afghanistan can stop India. While if you look at the Afghanistan journey so far in this World Cup, they lost the first match against Australia by 7 wickets. Then again the next match against South Africa by 9 wickets. Then again New Zealand 7 wickets. Big margin. It's not that Afghanistan just lost the matches. The margin of defeat, if you could see that they hardly competed against any of the matches. That was the only match, the Sri Lanka match where they lost by 34 runs. That was the only serious chance of Afghanistan pulling an unlikely victory, which they lost because obviously the experience of the Lankan team, helped them in winning this close contest. And then again the last match, England literally murdered them. The way Owen Morgan batted, the number of sixes he hit, 17 sixes, no one can forget the world record. Now, if you look at India's picture, how India will look into this match. This is the form of Rohit Sharma. Obviously, everyone talk. So this will be the Afghanistan biggest challenge: how to stop Rohit Sharma, who is in a menacing touch. If you look at in this World Cup, in just 3 matches, he has got 319 runs, and in one match he got 50. So Rohit Sharma is in the best form of his life. Even before this World Cup, he was scoring hundreds and 50. And if you look at his last 6 innings, he has got 2 hundreds, 195, where he missed the 100 by just 5 runs. And in his career, it's only the first time that where he has scored 550s consecutively. So Rohit Sharma is a great touch. Obviously, India will miss Shikhar Dhawan at the top, but the kind of form Rohit is in, it will be very tough for the Afghanistani team. The only question for the Indian camp is that can they gamble? Because since this is a low profile game for Indian team, this is the only game where they can experiment with the squad. Because if you look at Rishabh Pant has come in place of Shikhar Dhawan. So will Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli gamble on Rishabh Pant? Will they take a gamble and put Rishabh Pant as an opener or maybe in the middle order? In that scenario, they will have to drop Vijay Shankar. But Vijay Shankar yesterday he came to the press conference. The injury concern are gone. He is fit and he is likely to play the game. And it will be very unfair on Vijay Shankar if you look at his record against Pakistan, the last match he played. He scored 15 runs in the slog overs when wickets were falling at one end, and then he got two important wickets just by bowling 2 overs. So you don't drop a player who was the original number 4. Obviously, if you remember the word of chairman of selector MSK Prasad, he was originally the number 4. And so far, if you look at his performance in the last match, you can't drop a player like Vijay Shankar. So it will be very interesting to see whether Team India can drop Vijay Shankar, or maybe can they just take a gamble on someone like Rishabh Pant by resting Kedar Jadhav. Kedar Jadhav hadn't done anything. So this is just one surprising element that we can see because many a times Virat Kohli takes a decision which surprises a lot of people. So this is something we can expect. Rishabh Pant coming in place of highly unlikely Vijay Shankar, but could be against Kedar Jadhav. And this will obviously it will be a big opportunity for India to improve their run rate. However, if you look at the points table, India may not be at the top of the table, but the way they have played so far, they are at the top. Because if you look at the remaining matches, the India has played tougher. They are tougher opponent, and if there is only one team which can challenge India is England, that is on 30th. Otherwise, the remaining matches, whether it's against Afghanistan today or Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, these are relatively easier matches. So this is something India can look forward to improve their run rate. And for Afghanistan, if you look at these two gentlemen, if you look at Rashid Khan and Mohammad Nabi, they are the only hope for Afghanistan to turn it around, and they have sufficient experience bowling against the Indian team. Some of the important players playing along with them. Like you look at their record in the IPL 2019. Rashid Khan 15 matches, 17 wickets, economy 6.28, and then Mohammad Nabi 8 matches, 8 wickets, 6.65. Mohammad Nabi is someone who who can open the bowling, and Lokesh Rahul, he has a history of struggling against off spinner. So it will be interesting to see if Afghanistan opts to open the bowling with Mohammad Nabi and Rashid Khan. Obviously, the Afghani captain has claimed that Rashid Khan is such a champion player. He is mentally very tough, and it was just one horribly gone bad day for Rashid Khan against England. He's somebody who would like to redeem his image. The kind of mauling he got in the last match, obviously it says a lot about Rashid Khan, because Rashid Khan is the name of Afghanistan. If there is only one player the whole world knows the Afghanistani team, this is Rashid Khan, the globetrotter. He plays across the T20 franchise league, and he has made a great impressions. But so far in this World Cup, Rashid Khan has struggled, and that is the biggest cause of worry for the Afghanistani team. So it will be interesting to see if these two players can make any impact against the informed Indian batsmen. However, if you go by the history, then India can't take Afghanistan lightly. Remember what happened 8 months back in September 2018 in Dubai during Asia Cup. India did not defeat Afghanistan. Afghanistan was almost on the verge of a historic win, although eventually the match was tied. But we can see that Afghanistan scored just 252, and India were not able to chase as many runs. So this is something Indian team will have at the back of their mind. They can't take Afghanistan lightly. But that Afghanistani team was different. The captain was different. That team wanted to prove their worth in this world. But this team, if you look at the off-field controversies, haven't helped the Afghanistani team. We have seen the statement of the chief coach Phil Simmons' comment, where he has spoken about that he's for the time being he's just quiet. After the World Cup he will reveal a lot of things. That why team is struggling, because there are issues with the selection committee, with the captaincy changes just before the World Cup. So all is not well with this team. This team is reminds you like Pakistani team, a lot of chaos. But again, like Pakistani team, sometimes you can put behind all the chaos and bring your A game and surprise your opponents. So India will hope that's not the case today with them. So overall, if you look at, as we just said, this is one game for India. India obviously will not take Afghanistan lightly, but they can experiment. They can bring in some new players, maybe probably Rishabh Pant. While Afghanistan, if they lose this match, which this is a highly likelihood, they will be officially the first team to be out of the semi-final race. So that is the most likely result going to be today's game. Thank you so much for watching.